Margins of Corruption is a research project funded by the Swiss National Science Foundation under the Advanced Grant Scheme. It's a project that will run for 5 years, studying the capacity of the conceptual core of corruption, conceived as a deficit of office accountability, to make sense of the manifestations of corruption across a variety of institutional settings. It will mobilize expertise in political theory, in analytical philosophy, and political science. So what lies at the margins of the conceptual core of corruption? Well, the project builds on the idea of political corruption as a deficit of office accountability, which occurs every time office holders use the power entrusted to their office for the pursuit of an agenda that cannot be vindicated as coherent with the terms of their power mandate. Now, this is a very encompassing view of corruption, which includes individual manifestations of the phenomenon, like bribery and embezzlement, and also institutional ones, like clientelism or state capture. However, it was conceived for forms of power that are, to begin with, public and then justifiable according to common democratic standards. But as soon as we move from this conceptual core of corruption to its margins, we also encounter the form of power that are not entrusted according to democratic standards. So the first margin is that separates democracy from hybrid or authoritarian regimes, and also forms of power that are not totally public. And so we encounter corruption perhaps in no-profit organizations or business corporations. And our question is, can the conceptual core of corruption as a deficit of office accountability also make sense when corruption manifests in these other institutional settings? The project will explore the margins of corruption by mobilizing a mixed methodology, hybridizing methods in analytic philosophy, so conceptual analysis and normative analysis. So we will be studying what corruption is conceptually and why it is wrong from an ethical point of view. And these methods will be mixed with quantitative studies, for instance, through ethnographic observations of practices of accountability in different institutional settings, and also one-to-one interviews with office holders and members of different institutions that we will encounter. In this way, we also hope to give some methodological contribution to the study of corruption in political theory, but seeing how the tools of conceptual analysis can be improved by means of conceptual engineering. That is, by bringing in equilibrium what we conceptualize theoretically and what we see in practice by studying corruption in the actual workings of institutions. The project, of course, will deliver, besides academic publications, also instruments for enhancing the study and the understanding of corruption across various institutional settings. So we will be producing handbooks and also toolkits for the study of corruption that can actually help office holders to live the practice of accountability in their institutions. But most importantly, we will be funding, thanks to this project, the first international center for corruption studies that will be based at the University of Geneva and will uphold the study of corruption across disciplines by attracting and mobilizing the international community of scholars in political theory, political science, anthropology, and economics.